Hi everybody, once again welcome to PRTC's Community Calendar, and today it's a very special one, near and dear to my heart. I'm welcoming Anthony McKnight.
Yes.
Anthony, it is an absolute pleasure meeting you, my friend.
My pleasure.
And your family is rock and roll history,
Yes.
royalty. I mean, your first cousin, James Jamerson,
Right.
has been voted by Rolling Stone magazine as the best, the top 50 bass players ever. He was number one.
Yeah.
He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A lot of people might not understand or realize who James Jamerson is if they're not in the music industry, because he didn't get the accolades he rightfully deserved.
Exactly.
If you've ever listened to any Motown whatsoever from 1963, give or take, early 60s all the way to early 70s, he was the bass player with the Funk Brothers all this time.
Yes.
And just an absolute bass player legend. As a matter of fact, a lot of famous bass players have credited him in listening to his style.
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, John Entwistle,
Yep.
from the Who, and so many others, and just so many major songs. One way I can put it for just about anybody out there, if you've ever heard, I heard it through the grapevine, that famous bass line, dum, 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 that's James.
Yep.
And I'm gonna, as we get into the interview, I know I'm talking a lot right now, but there's a lot that this guy meant to me that I found out later. Because when I was a child, I was born and raised in Walterboro, but in the summers, we'd always spend time every summer at Edisto Beach.
Okay.
And at Edisto Beach, listening to the radio, and of course back in the 60s and early 70s, what was I listening to? A lot of time it was Motown. And a lot of stuff we called beach music, which
Yep.
was a lot of it was Motown.
Yeah.
And the Funk Brothers were the studio musicians that were uncredited. They were playing all that great music that Barry Gordy was putting out. And he was playing on almost everything you can imagine through Motown. It's just absolutely incredible. So the guy that I was listening to on the radio at Edisto Beach, come to find out, as I got older, he was from Edisto.
Exactly.
Edisto Island.
Yep.
Now, where exactly, Anthony, was he born on Edisto Island?
James was born off of Steamboat Landing
Steamboat
Road.
Landing. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And just recently I had Steamboat Landing Road renamed to James Lee Jamerson Memorial Highway.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I mean, he's finally getting the accolades that he so rightfully deserved. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Once again, like I said, voted best, if not the best player, one of the best bass players ever, most of the time the best bass player ever.
Well, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Musicians Hall of Fame,
Right.
Fender Music Hall of Fame,
Right.
and along with the Funk Brothers, he has a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Once again, unfortunately, a lot of that was posthumously,
Right.
but he's finally getting the rich credits that he deserves. And, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think in 1971 when he played Heard It Through the Grapevine with Marvin Gaye, was the first time he was actually given full acknowledgement of what a great bass player he was.
Yes, that was off the, actually it was off of the What's Going On album.
What's going on, right?
When Marvin gave him his credits and
There
stuff
you go.
like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just an amazing bass player, an amazing musician. Died way too young. He was born in 1936. I think he was 47 when he passed away.
47 when he died.
I mean, you think about what he accomplished in that short lifespan.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many songs out there. There's some stuff out there that still to this day I haven't heard, and I'm like, that's James.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's
My God.
amazing. And it was so iconic when you listen to the sound of the music. And, one of the things, you could always listen to Motown, and as soon as you heard that sound, you knew it was a Motown sound.
Exactly.
And we know now that was the Funk Brothers, and James was a huge part of the Funk Brothers.
Oh yeah, he was the bass player for the Funk Brothers.
Exactly. And that's laying all that boom, 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 it's just beautiful. Now, getting back to Steamboat Landing, which is now named after, the road is actually named after James.
Right.
Does he have any family still living out that way?
I still have first cousins and other cousins on his father's side. They're still out there on Edisto Island.
Now, Anthony, you were James's first cousin.
I'm his first cousin.
And his aunt, which is your mother,
Right.
is really the one that raised him, correct?
Exactly, because when my other aunt, Aunt Catherine, who was James's mother, when she left Charleston and went away to try to find work, she left James and his brother, Richard, with my mom's and my grandmother.
Right.
Then my mom's moved to Charleston and brought James and Richard with her.
And some people credit Charleston as being where he was born, but it was actually Edisto Island.
Edisto Island.
Yeah, Edisto Island. Because I've heard some interviews where they say Charleston. I'm thinking, no, he's not from Charleston. He's from Edisto. You know, nothing wrong with being from Charleston. Don't get me wrong. That's my home away from home. But yeah, Edisto Island, a lot of great memories out that way, and he's still got family out there. Now you still live in Charleston, correct?
Yes, I do.
Now, one of the things, you've been kind of on a crusade, and a rightful crusade, to make sure that James gets the credit he rightfully deserves.
Exactly.
You know, one of the things we were looking at right before we got on camera was, you were showing me he's buried at Woodlawn in Detroit, right? Woodlawn Cemetery.
Yes.
And you were saying it was just a plaque.
It was just a little name plate down there on the ground, and I'm like, nah, that's not befitting of him. So
Right.
I started a GoFundMe campaign. Took me 3 years because I started during the epidemic.
Right.
But still, yet people poured money in, and we finally got the rightful headstone that he deserved.
Well, you know, one of the things you told me right before we got the cameras rolling is that I guess you would call them the caretakers of Woodlawn, saying that his grave was one of the most visited sites.
Exactly.
But they were having a hard time finding it.
And that's because Woodlawn is so big, it's so huge. And what I didn't understand about that was because you got Rosa Parks,
Right.
you got Reverend C.L. Franklin,
Right.
you got Aretha Franklin,
Right.
you got, who else is out there? Stubbs from the Four Tops.
Oh, wow.
David Ruffin is there.
Oh, man, just the who's who of Motown.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people out from Motown, and I'm like, Jamerson got to have a better headstone. than that.
Exactly. And you know, maybe I can get Jason, if it's possible, to actually put that up on camera. Sure. So we'll get that picture that you showed me, and believe me, it's befitting of what you would want for James Jamerson's headstone.
Yeah.
It really, and it's so cool you're doing this. And now, when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, were you able to be there?
I was there. I was living in Pawleys Island at the time. And his wife called me and told me that he was going in the Hall of Fame. And I flew on up to New York.
That's
had
awesome.
to be there.
That had to be a moment. I mean, that had to be just a prideful moment.
It was.
To see
It
that.
was, yeah.
Now, obviously, you rightfully deserved all the different accolades. And I was actually on stage with you in 2018.
Yep.
I was there with the Low Country Music Hall of
right,
Fame, and,
right.
and that's when James was inducted into the Charleston Hall of Fame, basically is what that is, with Low Country Hall of Fame. And just an honor to be on stage with you and all the other people that were there, and once again, some great memories thinking about the music that he was a part of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have, in my home, I have a bunch of pictures of James up around my wall. And one night I'm sitting there and I'm going, why are you dominating my life? And I mean, it's like, he was sitting right next to me. I heard him plain as day. You got to tell my story.
Exactly.
Like, whoa.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And the truth is the more people realize all the iconic songs that he played on, all the music that brought us so much joy.
Yes.
Joy and sadness, really. I mean, you think about some of the songs he played on, but mainly joy, just beautiful joy. It's memories of my childhood that always brings a smile to my face. And now that I know that he had that Low Country connection, it makes it even better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of the songs that we actually do in our show, and everybody seems to just love it, the iconic My Girl.
Temptations. Oh, yeah.
That's James.
Now, speaking of your show, it's actually going to be coming to Walterboro, the Colleton Civic Center.
Yes.
Now, what's the date on that? When's that coming?
That's coming on June 22nd.
Okay. Now, if somebody wants to get tickets, what do they need to do?
They get tickets right here from the Colleton Civic Center, or the Farmers Market, or they can get it online.
Now, have you been to the Civic Center before? Have you seen the Colleton Civic Center?
I've seen it, but I've never been here to actually
It's
do a
really,
show.
truly amazing.
It is,
I
it
mean,
is,
really
because
is.
I got a phone call, and the lady asked me, she said, how come you don't come to the Civic Center? I said, well, y'all don't have a venue down there big enough for us to come.
Right.
She said, are you at your computer? I said, yeah. She said, go to Colleton Civic Center. And when I saw it, I wrote Jenny, and I'm like, we like to come down to the Civic Center.
And the acoustics are awesome here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was when I was younger, I sang in chorus in junior high and high school, and we used to have the concerts here.
Okay.
And the acoustics are just absolutely awesome here, so you're going to enjoy it. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys perform.
All right.
Well, tell us a little bit about the show.
It's basically a Motown show, because basically what we do a lot of stuff that Motown music, it all is Motown music. We do stuff by Mary Wells, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
Right.
Marvelettes, Supremes, Temptations, the Originals, and Junior Walker and the All-Stars.
Just once again, the music of my life when I was young.
Oh yeah,
You know, I love it.
Yeah. It's going to bring back a lot of memories. That's for sure.
Now, you're going to be coming into Walterboro, but I guess you're touring all over the country?
No, we actually just do South Carolina. Walterboro is our first stop away from Charleston.
I got you.
Because we were doing a symposium in Charleston now for the past 4 years.
And you still live in Charleston, correct?
Yes, I do.
So you live right there in Charleston, low country boy like me.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I've been blessed to travel all over the world, but there's no place like home.
No place
No
like
place
home.
like home.
I'm serious.
All right. Well, just once again, we're going to take a quick break. We're talking with Anthony McKnight. We're talking about his first cousin, who is a legendary, is an absolutely iconic bass player, the best. Some people say the best ever. And you definitely, if you ever listen to any kind of Motown whatsoever, you've heard him play. I guarantee you that. We'll be right back with Anthony talking about the music of Motown. We're talking about James Jamerson. We're talking about his legacy and the fact that he doesn't get the accolades, or wasn't getting the accolades that he deserved, but he's getting them now. Well deserved. We'll be right back with PRTC Community Calendar. I'm Miles Crosby. Stay with us.
Consignment Envy, a 6,000 square foot warehouse full of fun and fab, designer clothes, home decor, and furniture, located at 813 Bells Highway. Visit our sister store, Downtown Envy, a vintage market at 220 East Washington Street. 4 buildings full of art, antiques, farmhouse, home decor, primitives, vinyl records, and much more. Both stores located in beautiful Walterboro, South Carolina. So come get your envy on.
Once again, welcome back to PRTC's Community Calendar. Today is a very special day for me. I'm talking to the first cousin of James Jamerson, arguably the best bass player ever was, and once again voted by Rolling Stone magazine in the top 50 best bass players. He was #1. We're talking to Anthony McKnight. Anthony, once again, welcome back to our show.
Thank you.
You've got a show coming up, and it's going to be a tribute to James. What are you calling it?
We're calling it the James Jamerson Musical Tribute, and we're actually trying to raise money to start a scholarship fund in his honor.
Just once again carrying on the legacy of his name, getting out there that people need to know what all he did. You know, the list is just too much, but I'm gonna go through just a few of the songs that most people will know. You Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes, My Girl by the Temptations, Shotgun by Junior Walker and the All-Stars, For Once in My Life, and I Was Made to Love Her, Stevie Wonder, Going to a Go-Go, rather, The Miracles, Dancing in the Street by Martha and the Vandellas, Heard It Through the Grapevine by Gladys Knight and the Pips, and later by Marvin Gaye, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, Reach Out and I'll Be There, and Bernadette from the Four Tops. These are all bands that I grew up absolutely loving, all the songs I absolutely loved. Boom Boom by John Lee Hooker, Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson. I mean, the list, Standing in the Shadows of Motown and so many others. That's a documentary to James Jamerson. And the list goes on and on and on. Chances are, if you ever listened to the radio in the 60s and early 70s, if you've ever listened to any Motown at all, you have heard his bass playing.
Exactly.
You know, and you guys are going to be doing this tribute. Now, name some of the stuff you're looking to do. What are you planning on doing whenever you do the show?
We always plan on trying to bring back memories of days of old. We're going to do a bunch of Motowns. I mean, the whole show consists of Motown.
Yeah, you know, once again, some of my happy childhood memories were spent at Edisto Beach, listening to beach music and Motown, which a lot of times they were synonymous. You know, a lot of beach music was Motown. You know, it's just what we called beach music, but it was Motown's what it was. And not realizing that a local native was playing all that music.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just, you know, and when you grow up and you find that out, and it's a revelation, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely, and I love what you're doing. You're trying to spread the knowledge of what he did and can carry on, because unfortunately a lot of these accolades came after he passed away, some while he was still alive, but he didn't get the credit he deserved until really and truly after he passed away.
Right.
And you're carrying on.
Well, right now, what I'm doing now is also, there's an exhibit getting ready to come out at the Edison Island Museum.
Oh, okay.
I've already donated an upright bass.
That he used to play.
Yeah, it's a replica of his upright bass, and I now have a replica of his Fender bass.
That is awesome.
So I'm going to have both of them sitting in that museum.
What a lot of people don't realize is he started out playing what they call a double bass or upright bass, and then later on, of course, when he started doing Motown, he switched over to the Fender electric bass and did all those iconic, you know, just bass lines that we all know and love, and all the music that he played on. Now, when again is the concert going to be?
The concert is going to be Saturday, June 22nd.
All right, Saturday, June 22nd. It's going to be at the Colleton Civic Center. Now, we're going to have a link on the video that we're recording right now to tell you where you can go and get the tickets.
Right.
I know you can get them from you. You can get them from Jenny Button at the Colleton Civic Center. Matter of fact, as soon as we wrap up this video, this show, I'm buying some tickets right now.
I hear you.
You know, as they say, if the creek don't rise, and Lord willing, I plan on being here.
I hear you.
And looking forward to it and living through some of my memories. Now, if there's anything at all that we haven't already hit on that we need to talk about, let's do it right now.
I couldn't even imagine, because there's so many things that James has done. I mean, God.
That's the thing. I went through the list of all the things and all the music he brought us and all the joys and the memories. I mean, think about it. You know, most people through their lives remember music at certain times of their life.
Exactly.
And it always brings back certain memories of that time. And it's universal. And so when I think of Edisto Beach as a child growing up, I think about Motown, and I think about now knowing that one of the guys that was playing on all that beautiful music was a local.
James Jamerson.
Exactly, exactly. And you get a chance to help his scholarship that you're putting together.
Exactly.
And listen to some of the music that he made. He did so well back in the Motown days.
Yep. Well, the reason why we're putting the scholarship together, we want to put the scholarship together to actually name it after James, and then award it to any kids that want to go on to college to further themselves in music.
Yeah.
So that's how we're trying to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Giving back to the keeping that legend going and keeping that music going, and I think he would really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Anthony, when I first met you called me Uncle Miles.
Uncle Miles.
You can always call me Uncle.
I appreciate that.
It's a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. We've been talking to Anthony McKnight, first cousin to James Jamerson, one of the best bass players, if not the best bass player ever. Easy for me to say. But once again, a true legend of Motown and so much more. For Anthony, for the Colleton Civic Center and Jenny Bunton, and for everybody, including Jason, who's behind the camera, Jason Cook, I'm Miles Crosby for PRTC's Community Calendar. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. See you again soon.